With your posse, nigga, I got the mods. I'm taking them out a lot, I got more than you can pop. I'm rapping the spots, so now they drop. Come and get dropped. Too far, they trying to hear it. I'm swerving at your pop. I'm swerving at your not so hot. Static is the last thing you need when you see me. Better have a back or a back to defeat me. Nigga, I'm a whole posse rolled in the one shot. Taking on your dot while you're prototyping my spot. Give it a funky flavor with the gift that only God gave. Over to my grave. I'd rather die than be these slaves. Slaves come as dope dealers. Some come as addicts. Some come to run while the others call.
You're in the zone when you need another upper. You're triple slipping, going out like a sucker. Matter of fact, you're more than just slipping. You're way beyond control. You're on a mission. You walk right through a wall to get a 20, a 40, or an 8 ball. And once you enter this area, there ain't nothing scary. And all I wanna say to ya is just back the hell up. You need to go where they let you do your thing in a cup, and you can take a diagnosis. You see your boy Shot G wrote this to open up your mind. Do you know who I am? I'm deliverer of the rhyme. My job is to verbally slay suckers like an Uzi spraying motherfuckers. The underground is gonna get you. Now pay attention, we're about to enter into a new dimension. Can't you feel the tension? I'm sure you heard the word prevention. So like I said, pay attention. You only need a little bit, but you want another hit? Call emergency on the telephone, cause yo, you're in the danger zone. Drop it. You're in the danger zone. 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 You're in the danger zone.
My family moved from the East Coast, so I've been in California now for 5 years, and every year I tell them, no, it's gonna happen this time. Yeah, got a break coming out, you know.
I met Shock G as I wanted to expand my world of music from jazz to hip hop. I grew up playing jazz. I grew up in Berkeley, California in a period where they had just launched a jazz program for the public school system there.
So there's people out there who know me more as anything other than, that's not a shot, G. That's Greg Jacobs from Music Unlimited.
My earliest influence in jazz was my father, Mr. Wonderful. He was a jazz musician. He consumed jazz on every level.
Well, Jimmy was in Mr. Wonderful's band, which is his father's group. So I used to hang out at the warehouse with them, you know. Jimmy hired some of the best cats in Berkeley and best cats in Oakland. Jimmy knew Rodney Franklin from high school or something, and Rodney Franklin was one of my favorite keyboard players at the time, so I jumped at that too. I was like, whoa, really, Rodney Franklin?
I went to a music store, Music Unlimited in San Leandro.
Me, myself, I was a salesman.
I went there for just a keyboard and a tape machine, but I ended up leaving with a sampler, a sequencer, a drum machine, a keyboard.
There was still at least 3-4 months out of the year salesman of the month, Greg Jacobs.
Some effects units and all different kinds of things, a microphone.
Jimmy came in and bought some stuff, and didn't know how to use it.
He is a salesman.
My deal was like, yo, I got these songs I want to get done. While I'm getting them done on your dream equipment that I just sold you, what I would love to have.
The Shock decided he would come over and show me how to work the gear in exchange to work on some material.
That was our deal.
He wasn't helping me get some equipment. He was helping him get some equipment with me. You know what I'm saying?
I would leave with the mix down. Like, ooh, I got these songs done. I ain't thinking about mailing it nowhere. Just happy to hear that little brother here just playing it around the family, you know.
And when I saw Shock's talents, he's a talented dude, a very talented guy. He can play music, he can play keyboards, he can program stuff, he can engineer stuff.
Jimmy would take the one that I left in the tape deck, the master, and send it to people.
Hip hop was purely his thing, and he was incredible with it and all, and I loved it, and I loved being a part of it, but I also really like growing things.
It was a big step for Jimmy. He was going from jazz fusion, almost no discipline, to hip hop, which was complete confinement. It has to be played. If you're going to play it live, the object of it is to make it sound as a recognizable chunk of a record. If you go, you fucked up. See? Jimmy used to hate that.
We didn't have a 12-inch yet. We had a cassette. And so I was going around rocking that at all the radio stations.
And sure enough, I popped the cassette in the car after I'd finished my lunch and I was headed home. And I said, well, yeah, the song's okay. It wasn't thrilling me, but I like the concept. It's kind of fun. It was clean. And I thought, yeah, this is cool. It was summertime, so I was feeling it.
But also they were just very creative and just these brilliant concepts that were interwoven into the music.
Now I'm going around those stations, and I even go to KMEL, one of the power station, and I play it for them, and or it gets to them, and they put it on Kiss It or Diss It, and they kissed it. I love it.
Yeah, hanging out with them. As soon as his dad left and they were finished doing the jazz stuff, then we all play funk because we always want to play funk.
Great jazz musicians, Miles Davis, Art Blakey, Duke Ellington, any of these guys would have a group, and they would bring in new people all the time and launch new musicians. And what they would do is you would come and do your little stint with that band leader, with Miles Davis or with Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie and those guys, and you would be in it for a tour or two, and then you would go on and you'd be a star yourself, or you would have your own thing.
The guys in Digital Underground, you could tell that they were all like, they had grown up on 70s funk music with P-Funk, George Clinton, Funkadelic, Parliament being sort of the key, the nexus of it all.
Before there was Tupac and before there was Money B infused, it was just Shock and I. And we were going around rocking the parties, rocking the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, playing, different community park things.
And then they would look at me and go, let's do some hip-hop, just joking with me.
No, actually, being from the Bay Area, period, the first thing was that from Oakland, we were looking to identify with the Panthers.
Shock and I decided we'd do the Black Panthers of rap.
You woke up, threw on a striped yellow tie, you threw down a cup of coffee, kissed the wife you goodbye.
Your Life's a Cartoon, the Pink Panther theme was something that Shock used to like to play.
We had that first song, Your Life's a Cartoon, which was still doing the black parades, it was still a political thing.
So later on that evening, he gave a call and said, hey, what'd you think? I said, well, it's not really my, favorite stuff on the planet, but I get what they're doing. I'd love to be involved in.
And the P-Funk influence was most important because it helped sort of shape what was become known as the West Coast sound.
But in the meantime, while we had Life's Cartoon was a record that everybody was fussing on, and the group was going in that direction, before we could get it out, Public Enemy came out.
And you wasn't doing that better than them, so back to the drawing board.
Underwater Rhymes was already out. A lot of people think that we started Raw Fusion after digital, but we actually Raw Fusion before we joined. And at the time, Fuse was like one of the hottest DJs in the Bay. And, we were from there, so we were doing local talent shows, and anywhere we could perform, we was, getting it in.
But your side of it was more like Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. Just like that Lonnie Gotti song, that's how him and Fuse was getting down. His rhymes would answer with Fuse, answering with a record, and then Fuse would scratch the beat to make the beat. I'm going to do a routine. So we watching them, because we always, MGM would always open for Digital Underground group, or they would do their couple songs within the Digital Underground show, their solo stuff. Somebody
knew Jimmy, knew Dave, or whatever. Bottom line is, they wanted my DJ.
I ran across Money B and DJ Fuse. Fuse I met through a mutual acquaintance who told us about a DJ friend of hers who was dope. And Shock and I got his tape. I got the tape, and Shock and I went and sat down and listened to it and thought he was dope, and was blown away when we saw he was a white guy, because at that time we had not met or seen any white DJs in hip-hop, period.
They were trying to steal my DJ.
And then when we started working together live, that's when me and Will really got on and started working the routines out.
I just remember them coming over, and Shock walks in, he got this beret with these tassels. He had these sweatpants with tassels on his shoes. And
One and Fuse wanted to do every aspect live. Almost all of their show had to be beatbox, live, turntables, freestyle. Where I came through thinking I wanted the whole show planned out.
So they come in, and my mom's looking all like, she's, they coming back to my room to talk, and she's kind of looking down the hall like, what's going on?
Money B is a lovable character. He's exactly who you think he is on those records.
Meaning, I was the guy, Fuse had the turntables. We had the 4-track back then. There was no computers or 4-track, but we had the equipment.
To me, he's a dope MC, and he's a great writer as well. He writes really good stuff.
So, and my house was like the hangout house. It was in the hood. Everybody used to come over. My mom was already suspicious of them. And Jimmy's like, yo, can I fire up this weed or whatever? So, we back there smoking weed. I think I might have a 40 or two. We was just back there chilling.
We would joke how we would go over to Money B's house, which is where Fuse lived. They lived in a small apartment on 63rd Avenue in Oakland.
And she opens the door, what the hell is going on back here? And I'm all like...
We interrupt our program to bring you a special broadcast.
I've received a letter of vital importance from a member of the Narcotics Bureau. The suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in.
Honey, can I smoke, will you?
Just a little something I want to show you I learned in Amsterdam. Just so you don't have to lip any blunts or doobies after no dick suckers. The handmade bomb. Just in case.
but we still didn't have the pop album, the lyrical element.
Forced to play dumb. I know where I came from, so I'm gonna claim some. So rock to the top, with the river to rock. Suckers calling the cops, so think you're coming to drop. Stop, think of the past, and brother can die for. Sucker to try for, never to cry for. Tricks to hold us back from the sing in the end. He's a fake, not a friend. So he's thinking of when he can backstab. Grab the golden home, young piece of drink, so he sold his soul for gold. Now I know the reason we must excel, cause if we don't, we end up in the cell. Move on, be strong with unity, cause that's the only way to build communities. Lies are told, but yo, we must move on and never stop. Open your mind to this rhyme and let it drop. Drop that. Drop that. Let knowledge drop. Drop that. Drop that. Let knowledge drop. Cause I'm again when I hype this, because I can write this, because we write this. Thought that you could get me, but you sweat me too close. Call it the dope dose, the suckers are comatose. Wondering the force, cause you feel it in full force. Like what you hear me, so you check it for dust source. Tupac, brother with the rhymes to rock on. Dizzy is busy, I put beats to drop on. Amateurs get damaged if you try to attack me. Suckers get jealous because the girls get at me. I might see it, but the beat I won't be. As long as there's dope beats, I'll never be lonely. Stop and let me breathe a minute. Hey, yo, kids, what's up? Put the bass back in. And let knowledge drop. Let knowledge drop. By any means necessary, it's kind of scary. Knowledge in the hands of the adversary makes them the larger when you got the rhythm control. I was waiting for a purpose, God, here you go. I refuse to be one for the choking out like a son. Walk right like a kid and write it down in the trunk. I take a chance, I'm always for a try to see. No mediocrity, sick insecurity. You gotta deal with me, knowledge appeals to me. Pay back some honor if it's still from me. The bass pumps, abs, nuts, speakers pop, the house jump, and knowledge drop. Let knowledge drop. Let knowledge drop. Let knowledge. Strictly, 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 strictly,
No, I didn't know that he was going to get large. Mm-hmm. And always in these interviews, I always see everybody, I always knew Pac had it in him. I could tell by the glimmer in his eye. He was going to be just a superstar. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone saw the train coming.
In terms of importance for the Bay Area, Digital Underground were a very important group. Before that, of course, we had Too Short, MC Hammer were the major groups at the time.
We had a mutual manager, a lady named Layla Steinberg.
Months and months, I kept talking about needing a young artist that had a voice that could translate and cross all boundaries.
He brought a special kind of genius to this whole scene, and we're still feeling his impact.
He was very prolific. I mean, one of the most prolific individuals that I think I've had the opportunity to work with and get to know.
You know, he always had his little notebook and writing and writing and writing.
In the first poems that he wrote, I don't care if they were 3 lines or 10 lines, he could articulate his feelings in a way that I'm still struggling to do.
She was always trying to get her, set up gigs where we can do different events.
I stopped almost everything I was doing to see him find a way to a microphone.
Layla expressed to Atron that she had a group called Strictly Dope that had a kid named Tupac in it. And would he get one of his guys, or would he get his guys to produce?
Atron signed Pac. Pac was a group. His demo was Strictly Dope.
Strictly Dope was a pilot group birthed out of Layla, and it was a mixture of TMS, which was the dance group, and then Pac.
I went in the studio with Strictly Dope, and we were able to record some songs.
I always tease people, and I said, man, if I played you some of the earlier tracks of Tupac, you'd swear that was like not Tupac.
That was the Strictly Dope credo. That was their thing, was to speak up and be these brothers that would challenge the establishment and speak up on stuff, a la Public Enemy, KRS-One, and the political conscious rap that was going on at that time.
Pop was predominantly the lead singer. Ray wasn't equal to Pop in that group. Ray was like Fife compared to Tip, or Flav compared to Chuck.
Raymond was a protege of Pop.
At that particular point, I used to take them to a couple of different studios and go and record their music.
He was one of the most startling individuals I've ever met.
I meet this kid, Tupac. They're dropped off to me after being in the car together for an hour and a half, driving from Santa Rosa to Oakland with Layla and her 2 kids in the tow.
Tupac never cared about who mixed his song or what this. He did, but not really.
Because we had no idea really that he was Afeni Shakur's son, Panther 21, and we didn't know. And it took us till we were out on the road with Public Enemy, actually, really to be aware of who this kid was. And it started making a whole lot of sense when I would listen to the lyrics of a song like Panther Power.
Dream ain't nothing but another calculated scheme to get us locked up, shut up and back and chained. Who deny us of the future? Rob our name, kept my history a mystery, but now I see the American dream wasn't meant for me. Cause Lady Liberty's a hypocrite, she lied to me. Promised for freedom, education, equality, never gave me nothing but slavery. And now look at how dangerous you made me, calling me a madman. Cause I'm strong and bold with this gun full of knowledge of the lies she told. Promised me emancipation and this new nation. All you ever gave my people was salvation. Fathers of his country never cared for me. They kept my ancestors shackled up in slavery. And Uncle Sam never did a damn thing for me. Sat lying about the facts in my history. So now I'm sitting here mad cause I'm unemployed. But the government's glad cause they enjoy when my people are down. So they can screw us around. Time to tame the government now. Panther power. Panther power. Panther power.
So they were a little crew that was solid. What we did do is bring together some things sonically to make them happen.
People heard him flow right there. That right there took it off. Nothing else took off but when he hooked up with Digital Underground. When he hooked up with Digital Underground, since they were already at a spot, and it's like, that was it. You own. And then they liked him. It wasn't like they was like, well, you know, he okay. They gave him a spot in the video. That's huge.
We needed a dancer to simulate the Humpty Dance video.
So Pop came on and we was just like, Pop, you know, we don't have that third dancer now. He was like, show me this, I'll do that shit, leave it on you.
Well, when he got it, I mean, it was huge. That was much talk.
As well as being backup MC, as well as a roadie that would carry gear, because I did travel with samplers.
Everybody carried their own suitcases. What he needs is the turntables, the banner stands, the equipment check, the sound check stuff.
Like in the very beginning, when we first went out, we bought all the equipment out. Like everything we played in the studio, we bought it out. We didn't know nothing about making a track or nothing like that.
So Pac, he did it. He was down to do it. That's what he was hired to do and brought on to do in the group initially, to be a roadie, a dancer, and a rapper.
And make sure we had enough popcorn. That was his job. Matter of fact, I was going to fire him because he was piss poor at that job.
His thought process is like, that's not important. What's important is, how am I going to put myself in position to be in the studio, to make these records, to get this crew that I want, to make everything that I dreamed of since I was 11 years old or whatever, whenever the dream started.
As the song was starting to get a lot of hype locally here, Tommy Boy Records, had an interest.
It was something that that we thought was needed at the time. Some wild, fun party shit. Yeah, I helped produce it. I actually helped inspire it by doing what I like a little too much. You know, you can do what you like, but don't like so much where you end up in the rehab.
Y'all ready to do what you like? Huh? I said, are y'all ready to do what you like? Yo, everybody put your fist in the air. Pump the fist. Come on. If you know the lyrics, sing it back to me, alright? Check it. Now as the record spins around, you recognize this sample, it's the underground. You know that we're down with what you like. Sing the song with what you like. Yeah, and though we usually on the serious tip, check it out. Tonight we're gonna flip and trip and let it all hang out. What we gonna do? We're gonna say what we like. Clap your hands, yo, yo. We wanna know how many people in the flow would like to just let yourselves go and do what you like. Yeah, well tonight you like. Just act the fool. It's okay if you drool, cause everybody's gonna strip and jump in the pool and do what you like. Come on, and do what you like. Yo, everybody do what you like. AJ, what's up? Do what you like.
That's when I was in the rehab when I first heard it come on the radio, and I was trying to convince all the other nuts inside the rehab, like, that's me, I'm on the radio, that's me. And they were like, yeah, right. I'm like, no, that's us. That's my band, that's my group. And they were like, yeah, right. Take the Thorazine and go sit down. A large part of the interviews that we used to do, we would be nonsensical. After a while, we got sick of telling the same story.
Humpty Dance was the double platinum hit that got us on the road. So until Sex Packets, the album, became hugely successful, nobody knew who I was because obviously there were no visuals.
We met, we were all fighter pilots in World War II, and we decided that we would crash our planes and rejoin ourselves as a hip-hop group, and we would do it because we knew that hip-hop was going to be the shit in the future.
People like to hear me say, come on, let's get loose. tequila, do what you like. People listen to me. I could get people to have sex. I could get girls to have fun, to loosen up and let the guys touch them a little bit. I could get dudes to smile at each other and put the guns away. We ain't tripping on that. We was Shock G tonight.
You know, it was just fun, and we just kind of went with it. I mean, Humpty Hump was out of spontaneity, and it, you know, and the ability to improvise on the spot, and Shock was a genius at that.
You know what's funny too about the nose is that there's scenes in that video when we all pop up and go, and do what you like, and everybody got the noses on. So before we figured Humpty out, we were all just bugging out at it. It was just a prop for that song.
It was a combination of my father, the loud, wrong, and confident opinions, and Groucho Marx, and you know, just some of the other great comedians of those days, and it's really kind of funny.
It wasn't until we edited that we realized it's best when you only got the nose on when you're doing the nerd voice with the nerd costume.
Hip hop was still wave your hands in the air, wave them like you just don't care. So it was party fun thing.
But then when it had the nose and the jacket and the voice, then it was one of those lines we realized that looks like something strong, so let's get rid of the rest of the footage.
Digital Underground sort of paved the way in terms of anything goes. You can be as crazy, as creative as you want.
Humpty Hump was the novelty dance record. Now, because it was a dance record that was about a dance, and you know, it was like it was like Revenge of the Nerds. Humpty Hump was a nerd.
So we didn't use the footage of everybody else with the nose that much. A few made it through. There's one of the ones walking around with it, but until we really figured Humpty out, there was a point when sometimes we would all bug out with it.
Sometimes those accidents make the best songs. I mean, the sequencer and the loop on the bass line actually was a loop by accident that came around, and then the machine was just malfunctioning. We were arguing and we're like, yeah, but you know what? That shit's kind of funky though, right? And it was just kind of cool, and we decided to roll with it, and you know, threw that funky Sly Stone loop up under it, and the rest is hip hop history.
Introduce myself, my name is Humpty, pronounced with an umpty. Yo ladies, oh how I like to bump thee, and all the rappers in the top 10, I have already bumped thee. I'm stepping tall, y'all, and just like Humpty Dumpty, you're gonna fall when the stereos pump me. I like to rhyme, I like my beats funky, I'm spunky, like my oatmeal lumpy, I'm sick with this, straight gangster Mac. But sometimes I get ridiculous, I eat up all your crackers and your licorice. Hey yo, fat girls, come here, are you ticklish? Yeah, I call you fat. It never stopped me from getting busy, I'm a freak. I like the girls with the boom. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom, I'm crazy. Allow me to amaze thee. Say I'm ugly, but it just don't faze me. I'm still getting in the girls' pants, and I even got my own dance. Sing! The Humpty dance is your chance to do the hump. What you doing? Yeah, check it like that. Do the Humpty Hump, do the Humpty Hump, y'all. Come on! Do the Humpty Hump, do the Humpty Hump. Do you know what I'm doing? We're doing the Humpty Hump. Area scream! I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. You can say you're Humpty. You're fucking funny looking. That's alright, cause I get things cooking. You stare, you glare, constantly try to compare me, but you can't get near me. I give you more C and on the floor B. Other girls, they adore me. Oh yes, ladies, I'm really being sincere, cause in the 69 my Humpty knows to tickle your rib. I know some names. I'm not ashamed. Like a pickle, I'm still getting paid. I get laid by the ladies, and you know I'm in charge. Sing! I get stupid, shoot 'em out like Cupid. I use a word that don't mean nothing. Like Luke did, I sang on Do What You Like. And if you missed it, I'm the one who said just grab 'em in the biscuit. I'm so treasure that I like to bite. I guess it's obvious I also like to write. All you had to do was give Humpty a chance, and now I'm gonna do my dance. Sing! Humpty dance is your chance to do the hump. Yeah, just like that. Do it! Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Do it, baby. I do the Humpty Hump. Just do the Humpty Hump. Do it, baby. I do your
Digital Underground, we were some touring motherfuckers. I mean, we used to tour with Jimi Hendrix, Charlie Parker, Big Daddy Kane, Public Enemy, EPMD, Queen Latifah, Ice Cube, Benny Goodman.
The group was already blowing up. They were in movies. They were everywhere.
Benny Goodman, the clarinet player, we were out there with Benny Goodman, Jimmy Dorsey, Duke Ellington, Count Basie. We played with them all.
They were on TV shows. It was a gigantic group. They had tour buses and semi-trailers following them around with all their gear. It was a big production.
We cut out and we went to Berlin to play the Berlin Music Festival. For the most part, I remember a particular instance where I was really, really tired. We had just gotten to Berlin. We wanted to rest because we had to go sound check later that night and go do the show. And the publicist for Tommy Boy, Laura Hines, a really nice Southern, Chop Master, Shock, Money B, we need you guys to get on the bus because they're going to take you on a tour of Berlin and take you around to some of the sites. And I'm like, man, fuck this. I don't want to see Brandenburg Gate and the wall that represents separating people and separation. I come from America. I'm used to all this bullshit. I don't need to see that. Now, we get on this bus. I don't know that this bus is full of the acts that are performing, us, EPMD, Latifah, and others, as well as journalists. And they're writing down everything I say. So we get back to America, and we have completed our album now. Humpty Dance is going to be our next single. But after we shot the Humpty Dance video, we were on our way back to Europe to do a European tour. So when we go back to Europe, the fucking wall's coming down.
Everybody knew who Digital Underground were. They was on TV. They were touring around. I mean, had a big following.
One of the first shows, Pac, who was green to the stage and didn't really understand, would hold the mic down at the monitor.
The first time he actually held the mic, you guys handed it to him, was it right before the Detroit show? Because after that, Ice Cube let him get on stage with him against management's wishes. But he just happened to be, he was really smitten by Ice Cube. And he would always be, every time he met what he considered a famous celebrity, he would just completely attach himself to it like a stray puppy.
There was a few shows where he was just all to the left the whole time and ignored the whole middle and right side of the arena. And come to find out it was because Ice Cube was in the pit. And he knew Cube was down there. And he just said this whole thing, I climb around and I hang around with the underground. Folks, when I come around, gas me, whatever. And we was just like, he just performed to Ice Cube. He didn't perform to nobody else.
But I believe, what night was that? Was that Detroit? The first time he ever put the microphone in his hand, he was given a chance to say a ho on the stage or yo or something. And he said, you hear me? Did you hear me? He was so excited. He called everybody he knew. He said, did you hear me? Did I do okay? And he was running around so happy.
I remember earlier Pac getting into a confrontation with one of the security cats up in there. And these Samoan brothers who are no joke in size. And Pac runs and sucker punches one of them in the face from around, hits him from the back, and then runs back to our dressing room. He's backstage. This is before the show even starts.
What is this black menace that kills everything it sees and hears? No human mind could imagine the enormous destructive power of this maddened, killing thing.
Apparently there was a local tough guy who was running through the spectrum, literally punching women and children in the face. And house security was terrified of this guy. At this time, Tupac was standing to my left, messing with the girls, and the guy comes up to me
and punches our killing machine we call Nzazi.
Amped up, fired up, yoked up, pumped up, And
Nzazi, in his full Terminator Arnold Schwarzenegger thing, gets hit and turns his head
and says, "What are you looking at, little nigga?"
Nzazi jumps down and throws each chair down like in a movie, like getting to this dude. And by the time he gets to the dude ran to the police.
So I rendered him unconscious.
We saw it at the back of the arena. We were on stage.
And Tupac started slapping the guy once he was unconscious. But he harassed this man to no extent. And everybody this guy knew. Tupac continued to harass him throughout the rest of the time we stayed in Philly. It was pretty funny.
Had rumored that someone had broken into Public Enemy's dressing room wherein Tupac, who took it upon himself to get madder than everybody else about the idea of someone disrespecting Public Enemy and breaking in to their dressing room.
He was like a prestidigitator of drama.
Took it upon himself to do his own private investigative work to find out who exactly broke into Public Enemy's dressing room.
He could create drama where there was none.
When we get back to the hotel lobby, Tupac takes upon himself to point out a gentleman standing across the room, across the lobby, and run over and goes, "There he is, right there."
But we, of course, discounted it because Tupac wasn't going to whoop anybody's ass.
He runs over across the lobby, through a crowd, and punches the shit out of this white man with a two-piece suit on.
He was completely unscathed, and that after the crowd cleared, it was, of course, it was, as you say, a hapless Amway salesman who simply happened to wander in the wrong place at the wrong time, and had got himself beat up pretty badly. And it was another one of those nights, you know.
He still was quite the confrontational guy that you always had to help him pick his fights and tell him and try to give him some direction on not necessarily letting everything be such a issue.
We beef with Pac sometimes underneath. We've had our internal struggles.
People break it all up and stop it, which Pac knew that was going to happen, that he would go hit this guy a time or two and it was going to be stopped because he was an actor.
We're so used to that. We're so used to him leaving us like, "I'm never working with y'all again." And then he's like, "Mom, what you doing? Hey, James out." You know, that's how it was.
And that's where I got into it with management, because I thought that it was just the biggest waste of $400 a month or a week, whatever he was getting paid, to carry this miscreant on the road.
I saw your girl. I saw your girl. I saw your girl. Yo, don't wanna dish you, but the truth. I saw your girl with the man, and it wasn't you, not just a friendly kiss. Things was getting hot. Not trying to dish a girl, but a virgin she's not. Now this wasn't a cousin, and just how do I know? Cause his hand was on her ass and he wouldn't let go. Yo, they was kissing and hugging. I was standing there bugging, cause he didn't force a girl. The bitch was loving every minute of it. And yo, speaking the truth, the girl just keeps the answer wrong for you. At first, I couldn't believe that you could be so naive. The girl is talking to you. All you do is say that she's a virgin, a princess, and yours to snow. You're the one of us, a couple bunch of girls at home. Your girls are skis, and your girl is hot. Everybody done had what your girl's got. And a tight jeans, yo, I mean, she's a number one freak. Who's next? She has sex with every man she meets. Now you're all in my face, asking me to explain why when you make your love to your girl, she's screaming my name. She's screaming for me and your girl's a weak. All that shit go around, I wouldn't touch the bit. Like a black hole, I know you weren't so first. No apologies, then you put your girl's worth. No love is blind to you, she meant the world. But yo, I saw your girl, I saw your girl. I saw your girl. I saw your girl. I saw your girl. Yeah, I saw her. I saw your girl.
Walking down the street in St. Louis, Pac's got on the nose glasses and Pac's Humpty. A bus goes by and this one girl jumped off the bus. She was really, really big, huge. And she had on a dress that barely held her stuff in. And to see her running, wait! And she was getting closer and everything was jumping out. She was running in rhythm. She had like this had one rhythm, this had another rhythm. And she, wait! Everything was flying around. Oh, it was funny.
Kid and Play got arrested for gyrating on stage.
We were told we couldn't curse. We couldn't hump the floor and make any sexual simulation, which was going to be impossible for us because the first things we say as we hit the stage is
Somebody say, oh shit.
Somebody say, oh shit.
Somebody say, fuck it up, digital underground.
Fuck it up, digital underground. So we going to jail right away.
So that was hilarious.
Yeah, do that shit, do it. Don't you know that digital underground is in the house? Yo, you know the Underground. So real quick, I want to see who's in the house. Yo, is San Mateo in the house? Oh yeah, is Berkeley in the house? Is San Francisco in the house? Is Oaktown in the house? Yeah.
We tried to go out, and we were like in Virginia Beach or whatever, and we went to one club, and they didn't want to let us in the club. They was talking about Tupac. Oh, we can't, not all that gold and all of this stuff.
There were times when we got in struggles with Pac and we didn't act the way he wanted us to act in that struggle. All of us at war with somebody else, I'm saying.
So we jump in, I think we got a car or a cab or whatever we did. So I can hear the dude saying like, yeah, I'm going to see how much juice he really got.
People are, we're going to see how much juice you got. And anybody who said anything funny to Pac wanted us to do our war with him.
The whole club, basically, we're in their hood. And the whole club, everybody knowing. So it's like, you can see the dudes passing a little pistol around. And
we thought the correct answer to this war was to do this. And Pac felt like this is the next move we should make in this war.
Shock's trying to be the peacemaker. Saphir's with us. And
fuck that, but we gotta hit him now. He was like, Tony Mattai, you want a war? You want a war?
We got out of there. And Tupac's still talking shit. Well, he's like, well, meet us over there. And something said, yeah, I'm gonna be back.
So sometimes we would let him. Sometimes he was right. Like, how could we stand for that? How could we stand for that? Are we men or not? And sometimes he was right. And we were like, let's go, man. Let's go.
We're gonna handle this. Da 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 da.
A lot of times it was like, nah, that ain't right. Nah, we'll get them later a different way than that. We're not gonna do it like that. And we walk away, and then Pac would be like, fuck this, you want to be fuck y'all bitches. Do look like I need y'all. I knew y'all was some punks.
So we're like, whew, we got out of that one.
Y'all know how it goes. We gonna play some Who's That Rapper first, and then we gonna get into the hype shit, alright? Yeah, what's up, Too Short? Alright. Can't flow. Got to go. With what? Your time. Can anybody tell us those MC's name? Who's those rappers? Who? Yeah, I think they know who it is. They just ain't caught on to the game yet. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me do another one. Hickory dickory dock. It was 12 o'clock, Cinderella ain't home. Must be giving up the cock. I don't doubt it. Cause I'ma tell you loud and clear. Get off my dick, nigga, and tell your bitch to come in. Can anybody tell us that MC's name? Who's that rapper? Yeah, they're getting a little better with it. Yo, let's rock another one, man. Yeah. Ludicrous rhythm and rhyme, anticipated like a bottle of Heinz ketchup. Cause you fell behind. Hey, yo, Billy, let's take them under. Can anybody tell us those MC's names? Who's those rappers? You know it. Alright, they with it. Yo, do another one. Yo, y'all gonna love this shit. Yeah. Can anybody tell us that MC's name? Who's that rapper? Very good, very good.
Well, I guess there was a few parts that affected us in different ways. It was kind of the beginning of the end of me being on tour.
Trouble T-Roy, he was a dancer for Heavy D. He was Heavy D and the Boys. He was one of the boys.
T-Roy was a very, very nice kid. All of the kids were, and I say kids because we're talking about teenagers, 17, 16, all the way up to 19-year-olds.
And it's a trip because me and him had become close.
That particular day, we were preparing for our show, and I was trying to get the kids to stop shooting each other with super soakers.
He had just came, that was his first day back.
They were having a super soaker fight from city to city for about 3 weeks into the tour, everybody.
And I just remember sitting in the lobby with him, and he was like, you know what, man, I'm about to change my life and just stop wilding out.
And so this particular night, the road manager from Kid and Play was shooting a super soaker at T-Roy, and he was sitting on a ledge.
Big Daddy Kane was on stage. Public Enemy hadn't got on yet.
And through a series of unfortunate incidents, T-Roy fell backwards off of the Hoosier Arena and hit his head on a curb.
And I just seen it was a lot of commotion. And it was like, whispering like, what? And they're like...
I had just went back in the arena when he was sitting on the ledge, and Tupac ran in right behind me and said, T-Roy fell down, T-Roy fell down.
And then people was like, he fell off the stage. That was the story going on in the venue while we were in there.
Ran down and saw T-Roy on the ground.
It was real serious.
And I told Pac to go tell an ambulance company. Instead of going in to get an ambulance, he ran back through the arena.
And I seen people over there crying, and then I seen Tupac actually come back in, and he was crying.
And he just was hysterical, and he was running around the arena. So I went in to get an ambulance.
And then I went over and went outside and looked over the ledge, and I seen him.
So we all met at the hospital.
We all went to the hospital.
I went into the operating room with T-Roy and held his hand. We were waiting in the lobby, and at the time in the lobby, everybody who was anybody in the rap business at that time was waiting out in that hospital lobby.
We get to New York, and somehow we got the word, which I wasn't surprised that he passed away.
It shifted everything. I think at that moment there was some kind of reality that soaked in, a bit of reality soaked into Tupac. Prior to that, I feel like it was mostly a cartoon.
So we were the ones that kind of informed the hip-hop world that he had passed away at the New Music Seminar. That's everybody was there.
People forget this is the first time this kid has ever traveled.
But that was wild.
And there is something very animated about it. It's something very unreal, very surreal, I'd imagine, for a kid that age who had never done anything. Then to have someone who was your peer, because he was one of our entertainer, part of the entertainer group, to have one of your peers die, he became less resilient in the childlike way. And there was that shift in him that I saw. It's hard to describe because I think for everybody it was so dramatic, and I guess everybody has a story. Dwight has a story. Everybody there had their own memories of that moment.
He grew up right in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
He went from being 18 to 25 years old, like overnight, but right in front of our eyes.
And then he was gone.
And all around the world.
Japan was great. That was the first time Tupac had left the country.
Whatever they said they was going to do, they did. They were on time. They expected you to be on time. They treated you great. The show experience was so different.
今日だけはデジタルアンダーグラウンドの皆さんに来ていただきます。
皆さん年齢は同じなんですか、それともバラバラなんですか？
Okay, 15. All right, 7, 2. He's 14. He's 12. He's 61.
The one incident that will stand out forever is Tupac was able to stop the bullet train in Japan. And if you know the train systems in Japan, they don't stop for anybody. The trains are very prompt, they're on time, and it is part of their national pride and culture is that the trains are timely. We get on the train and not being acclimated to culture outside of the Sausalito area where he grew up and getting acclimated right away, Tupac gets on the train with one of those big ghetto boxes. And we're on the bullet train, pristine, beautiful train, beautiful countryside, unbelievable customer service, quiet, peaceful. Then all of a sudden you hear this ghetto box in full tilt playing whatever the latest song was with a background of Tupac farting mixed in with it. the worker on the train, I guess they have some sort of hostess on the train, comes back and in the politest and softest broken English says, "Sir, you can't make noise on the trains in Japan." So he was going on and just, he looked at her and turned the music up. And so she returns with another person and says, "Sir, we understand that you're not from here, but in this country we do not disturb other people, or do we disturb the mass transit in any way?" And of course he tells her to F off to the best of his ability and went back into listening to his remix of Flatulence. So then the train slows down. All of a sudden the train stops. The doors open and Japanese military people came on the train. And the guy had on white gloves and these perfect uniforms, and we had never seen armed police in Japan at this time. The group leader, or the leader of this group of officers, gets on, walks straight to Tupac, and quotes him the Japanese penal code for disturbing national commerce and interrupting with the movement of trains was a 20-year offense, a non-trialable 20-year offense for someone disrupting the commerce in Japan. Tupac looked up, started crying, turned his music off, and said, "I want to go home." And the train, and he was given his warning, and we went on and we made it to Osaka about 5 minutes late.
Sex pocket. No. I just want one. This one.
Next.
No, I'm taking it. That's a man. I can't have a man when that's a man.
キャンディーなの？
ちょっとだけだよ。Don't do it. Get out of here.
This.
ちゃんと言うこと聞けよ。Oh, they all dudes. No. よし、OK. もう、どうも。Not like a girl. はい。なんだこれは。何があったんだ。お前らそんな大衆芝居みたいなことやりやがって。どうした？ What's wrong? 何なんですかこのセックスパケッツって。
他の子ですって。
答えたら。答えなきゃあげない。Guys.
The women love you in Japan.
At the time, it was like tension between Japanese and, so they told us, they said, whenever you go out, make sure you take somebody with you. And then also, Yakuzas. So, they're like, well, don't go nowhere by yourself. So this one night, I want to go to the club, and I think Tupac might have had a date or was with somebody, or he didn't want to go with me. So then I jump in the cab, and I'm like, take me to Q Club. But we had been there a week, so I knew exactly the route. So we going up the street that I know, and then he just turns off left. And I'm like, yo, Q Club. And he's like, yeah, Q Club. I'm kind of like stressing, like, what the hell is he doing? So I looked, and he had on the white gloves. And I was like, damn, they told me not to go by myself. And we driving up, and it's getting darker. We just going up in like some kind of hill. So then I was like, what I'm gonna do? In my mind thinking, I'm gonna kick him in the head and jump out the car. And I was like, wait, he might know karate. Then I started screaming at him, and I was sweating. When you're just all nervous and sweating, I'm like, and as I'm talking, he makes a right, and we at the Q Club.
Hey. Come on, let's take one together. See that? Look.
I remember going to a nightclub one night where, they had the strippers and the exotic dancers, pole dancers and stuff like that. And they also, off to the side, had like this line of people standing, these men lined up over here, and like it was a curtain and stuff, and you would step into this curtain, and I didn't know what it was, but for some reason I wanted to see what that was going on over there. And so when I finally get my chance to go inside, I look, because it's a booth, and then there is like a window that you can look out and watch the stage, and I look down to my right, and there's a little old lady that looks like someone's grandmother or great-grandmother. And she's sitting there down there, and you step in, and then somebody they push you in, and they pull the curtain behind you. So now you're in there with this woman, and she unzips your pants, takes your thing out, and she just sits there, looking down. While you're looking out, she's just sitting there, and she's like taking care of your business for you and all that while you're watching. And first of all, you're like, what the fuck? Oh, and you're watching. you're watching the show. You're watching the show, and you're watching like, oh, and it's like then you know, you do your thing, and then she takes like a napkin and takes the thing right and puts a little cup up, and you put a little something in the cup and leave. The greatest experience I ever had. I wish I could find her now.
Switch.
She had the real kung fu grip. Let me say everything.
So who's humping here now?
No, what was that? He's humping.
Does anybody want a sex packet? You do? Well, let's call the packet man in, y'all. Yeah. Yeah, he's the packet man. Put your hands in the air. Yeah, he's the packet man.
Excuse me, trooper. Will you be needing any packets today?
Yo, B, don't be pulling on my jacket, okay?
Cool. Just trying to get your attention so you can take a look at this invention. Now peep these. I got some more in my jacket.
Man, what are these, condoms?
Sex packets. It's like a pill. You can either chew it up or like an Alka-Seltzer. Dissolve it in a cup. And get this. See the girl on the cover? You black out and she becomes your lover. No, I'm serious. These are authentic.
Yeah, well, I don't take hallucinogenics.
Wrong again, my man. This is way more real. But since you know everything, I'll make someone else appear. Packets.
Well, now you got me curious. I'm kind of thinking about buying it.
3 for $10. It can't hurt to try it.
Well, what exactly do I get?
Well, read what it says. Look at the picture.
It says Chinese girl, age 17, waist 24, hips 33. This one here says young black virgin. Man, this is crazy. I'm gonna have to splurge and get me a few of these things. How long do they last?
Well, it depends. Let's see. These cheap ones here are 10 minutes, but these are extra power. They last about a half an hour. And these here sell for about 40, cause you get 2 girls.
Yeah, it says orgy.
Right. And if you're married, it's no big deal. You're not cheating at all. You're just popping a pill. And if your wife's got a headache and wants to hit the sack, it's cool. Take a packet, fool. Biochemically compacted sexual affection. Now here, take a look at my selection.
One more time, put your hands in the air, y'all.
Got the packet.
Yeah, it's the packet man.
Who needs packet?
Sing it with me. Who is it? Yeah, it's the packet man.
Got them packet.
Come on and say go, packet man, go, packet man, go. Say go, packet man, go, packet man, go. No, I don't hear nobody. What do y'all want?
We have a Chop Master J Pill this time. Sex Packets is certainly not about condoms. Sex Packets is not about condoms. Sex Packets is sex in a pill. Back in 89, when the use of condoms was really trying to be stressed and safe sex was really being pushed as a thought process.
Falling in love is great, but entering into a sexual relationship is a big decision. You're always old enough to know when you're too young to have sex. Don't be afraid to say no.
And some whole new set of STDs around, not just good old-fashioned gonorrhea. We felt as though, what would really be wonderful is if we could have, a pill that we could take to simulate one of the best sexual experiences you could have. I mean, and it was safe. You didn't have to go out and touch anyone.
We're selling fun, do what you like, loosen up, have fun. We're promoting sex and good times.
And so we went out on this campaign and tied our album to it because we heard that this sex packet thing was, we could actually do it, we could pull it off, and we worked to promote safe sex through this pill.
But not just musically, but creatively as well. And the whole thing with sex packets, that concept, just took things to a whole other level. And I mean, Digital Underground were sort of off in a world of their own.
Tommy Silverman loved it. He started doing research and found out that titles of films and music and all that have the word sex in it sell 28 or 32% more than things that don't.
And you guys at the time were actually having sex with rubber dolls on stage, if I remember correctly.
My first impression when I saw the stage act was, oh, holy crap! What have I gotten myself into?
The story behind the dolls is we had a part in the show when we did sex packets. And it was more like an interlude, you know. No, actually it wasn't, because Shock would actually sing. So our jobs was to go get these blow-up dolls, bring them out, and pull down our pants, and we had on like these little leopard drawers. They was like some little Speedo type things that was on.
I was like, Mom, you're not going to believe what's going on.
And we take the dolls and we had to basically, you know, simulate getting it in. You know, we humping the dolls.
Everybody wanted to do it. It was like, a lot of people now looking back, it does look like, yo, they had Pop doing this silly shit. No, we all wanted to do it because that's who the girls wanted after the show.
We was working hard because that was basically our audition for the girls to see what we could do. Because as we doing it, we like, that's how we was getting our pussy for the night. We was trying to work it out. Like, we was hustling.
The hotel that we were staying in was a trip because at this hotel, these 2 nights that we were there, New Kids on the Block was playing the Houston Astrodome. They were staying in a hotel, which was crazy because now it's like all these little young girls being dropped off, and parents would drop their kids off.
You know, we get in there and we making the faces and everything, and chicks be like, oh, I want that.
The guys humping dolls on the stage was blowing my mind. And I remember being at a live concert in the Bay Area, and I had walked out from behind the stage because I wanted to be out in the audience when Digital Underground hit the stage.
Then you had Kiss was staying in the same hotel. They were performing in town. So now you got all these grown groupie chicks floating around this lobby.
They were groupies, but they weren't my groupies. They was Flavor Flav, Chuck D, Heavy D, Big Daddy Kane, and Humpty Hump. They was their groupies. If you was the main guy, you pretty much didn't have a problem. If you was a dancer, a hype man, or auxiliary player, you had to hustle for it. You know, you had to work for whatever you got.
Then you have the Public Enemy Heavy D Digital Underground tour that happened. So now you got all these other girls just floating around a lot, and it's just this crazy synergy and energy of pop.
Tupac always wanted to make sure he got to the show early so he can get started. You know, like even before the show started, kind of cruising around outside.
Thousands upon thousands of people were there. And when Sex Packet came on, the guys were humping the dolls on stage. And
if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that was some of my idea. But the fact that we had on like zebra draws, I'm sure it was a lot of Shock's idea.
I turn around and everyone in the stadium's waving their hands. And I thought, you know, regardless of the antics that they're doing, this is some powerful stuff here.
To all the ladies in the house, cause we want y'all to let Digital Underground into your sex life. Alright? Let's do this. We're gonna show you what it's like to go deep, real deep, within the realms of a sex packet. Yo, ladies.
Sex packets, $1 or $2. Or just tell me how many for you this time. This time. This time. This time. Sex packets, the girl of your dreams. Just try one, it's not what it seems. This love. This love.
Yeah, let's do this right.
This love. This love.
Yeah.
So real.
And if it's not hurting anybody, then bravo to these guys for providing some great entertainment and great music.
Yeah, pop that coochie. You know, pop that coochie. That a bitch, that shit was huge.
Bible Belt thing is huge. When you leave out of California, being from the Bay Area, I'm not used to those restrictions and all those rules like that. You know, they're much better at hiding the rules. But the real deal is that, you know, by the time you find you broke a rule, you're in jail.
But we was down there, and they said, if you guys cuss or gyrate or whatever, you know, we're gonna arrest you.
When you're in the Bible Belt, which are the certain states and cities within those states that, you know, the sheriff's deputies come backstage and they give you a warning.
And so that was going to definitely violate the indecency rules of that particular precinct. So we had devised a plan on how to dive off the stage, change clothes, and mingle in with the crowd, and then get out of the arena.
When we did it, they were like, you know, the police started gathering around the stage, like after the show, we're about to arrest you.
And we had even did a dry run of it a few times.
We had already planned it. It was like, we're gonna do the show. At the end of the show, we're just gonna jump in the audience and just run.
And of course, right when the end of the show, when you guys were pumping the dolls, spraying the champagne in the crowd, throwing popcorns, we dived into the crowd to pre-designated people, and everybody took jackets, coats, we switched clothes, mingled with the crowd, and people dispersed.
Outside in the parking lot, like Mission Impossible, ducking behind cars, looking like, do.
All except Tupac, because he wanted everybody to know that was him on stage. Did you see me? Did you see me? Did you see me?
And I just found my way and went up to the top of the stadium. You know, we were doing stadiums back then. And just kind of sat and waited.
And of course, the police converged on him and took him to jail. Everybody got away that night but him.
Cause we're the freaks of the industry. Use a freak, money, babe.
Nah, you got that shot, G.
The freaks of the industry. And when you see us backstage, be prepared to cheat.
Well, they say that birds
do it.
Beats do it.
Do it.
Time the freak money beat gets to it. Not a heavyweight, but I go 12 round. With a jab and a stick, I'm going lick for lick. So, give me the helmet, I'll be the stunt man. Just relax, and I won't front like Anita. I'm giving you the best that I got. I'll be taking this sluck, never missing a spot.
Yes.
Caressing your back with chest to chest, you're kissing on my freckles. I nibble around your ears before I suck on your neck.
Oh, money, B.
Yeah, that's what they be screaming and creaming. But it's not a wet dream, it's the real, the freaky dog.
Doc Nasty.
Never let the pussy get past me without picking it up, petting and teasing it, taking it on home and pleasing it.
Cause we're the freaks of the industry. Use a freak, money, babe.
Nah, you got that shot, G.
The freaks of the industry. And when you see us backstage, be prepared. Yo, say you're G'ing. Nobody else is seeing. And the freak that you're with is in front of you, bending over naked and she's leaning on the dresser.
Ooh, yeah.
You're looking at her from the rear. Yeah. She looks just like Vanessa.
The right stuff.
Not Vanessa with the singing career, but the X-rated video queen. Know what I mean? Alright, here's the scene. You're lying on your back with your head on the edge of the bed. The booty's 2 feet from your head. Should you A, take the time to find a condom. B, you walk right over and you pound them. C, tell her that you want her love. Well, the answer is D. All of the above. So you're freaking. The furniture's squeaking. She's tweaking, saying that she's weak in the knees, cheek to cheek and pound for pound. You're taxing it and waxing it and working it around till the booty starts making that clapping sound. which is cool, but your friends are chilling in the other room. The clapping's getting louder, you don't want them to clown you. In this situation, what do? A, you plain and simply back up off her. B, you hit it just a little bit softer. C, you take it out and put it in her butt. Well, D is what I do, so yo, listen up. I put a towel on the floor by the 2-inch gap under the door. Now they can't see me anymore. Check the lock so they can't clock, but they can listen. There'll be no barging in and there'll be no dissing. Get back to my mission. Break out the whipped cream and the cherries. Then I go through all the fly positions. My head under her leg, under her arm, under her toe. I say I like it when you scream, baby, let yourself go. I hit it, split it, lick it, and quit it. After the ride, put my clothes on and walk outside. Before anybody gets a chance to speak, I say, yo, don't say nothing. I guess I'm just a freak, cause we're the freaks of the industry. Yo, you's a freak, Money B. The freaks of the industry. And when you see us backstage, be prepared to G. The freaks of the industry. Well, how you doing, Shot G? There's really nothing to it. The freaks of the industry.
The whole Digital Underground thing, people always wondered, with Digital Underground, what was actually the lineup and how things went. But, for the most part, that was a group that, once again, that I had assembled with Shock, with the idea of us being partners and being in this band and launching this thing, playing music and instruments, as well as rapping. It's just that when the rapping and making the records and starting to perform with DATs versus us playing instruments and stuff anymore, and I turned into like Marcel Marceau on stage, and I grew weary of wanting to continue on playing that.
There was a lot going on behind the scenes during that time period.
Shock, who decides that, okay, well now, I'm the man, and so at the end of the day, I'm going to let him have this part. I'm going to let him have this part. You can have this part. No, you don't need to be in this part. And this kind of stuff, and it's like, wow, really?
There were a lot of emotions from everyone.
Doing the video for All Around the World, Same Song, it was like a surreal moment. I felt, here I am with Dan Aykroyd, here's Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, here we're making a music video, and I'm not really in it.
One of the tragedies of Digital Underground is that they were so incredibly creative for such a short time.
And I can just remember sitting there and watching, and it became such a circus of bullshit.
And then you go out there and you make these albums and you go to the record label and the executive sits there and says, well, who's really part of the group? I mean, really, Joe, you're the main writer. And Bob, you're the main singer. So these other 5 guys, they're not really part of the group.
And something sort of unravels and they don't stay together as a group of creative minds.
And I just felt, after the Chinese hat that I'm putting on, and made to treat it like any other extra on the set, not feeling like a band member.
Jimmy was actually kind of the kid with the basketball we had to put on the team. Because Jimmy was really a jazz drummer, didn't really fit in the hip-hop situation. But he knew Down, who knew Jackson, who knew Adrian.
To watch someone feel as though this is the perfect time for me to cut this guy at the knees.
Because you can get some other guys just to come and back you.
I guess for some people, they don't want to feel beholding to you, like, oh, you did sacrifice everything. You did do a lot of different things for this band.
And then Joe and Bob sit there and they're like, well, hey, he's right.
A lot of times people want to just get there and go, it was me alone.
But the record labels do a great job of feeding into that.
Some people just find it easier to power trip.
We're all in this together, but I'm the most talented one. I'm the one that they want to see the most when we do interviews. I'm the one that they're always taking pictures of the most. All the women, all the guys, they want me.
I just thought that was, exit, stage left even. It was time to go. Because I was 50-50 partners with Shock, and Atron had signed Golden Eagle Productions Roman numeral 2. So now Atron's making 70% of what Shock or what Digital Underground is supposed to be making. But what's happening is Shock and I are split 50-50 already off the top. So really, Atron is getting 70% of 50%.
Atron Gregory, he wasn't a manager before.
And so he saw a need to get me out of the situation.
No. He had observed someone who was very good at what they did, managing talent. But it's a whole different ballgame.
Trying to get everything, they basically let the deals expire. Nothing was offered the following year or two, and no one made any money. So that's the kind of stupid shit I'm talking about.
Just because he had observed someone doing a good, okay, or great job in management doesn't mean that you can step in here and then all of a sudden do it and have it be flawless.
You have an offer from Jell-O pudding, Doritos, Sprite, Bubble Yum. 20th Century Fox wants to make a full-length feature film about sex packets.
When they were, just starting off and doing the writing, it was working.
To cut your legs from under you, to make you feel unnecessary and unappreciated for the things you've done, is the time that you really would like to strangle a motherfucker.
So I don't know if it's a fair statement for Shock to say that about Jimmy. And at some point in time, you say to yourself, listen, I could keep fighting this, or I could take my God-given talents and my abilities and step away and be happy. Because if I stay here, this is a train wreck ready to happen, because there's really no camaraderie anymore. And no matter what you do, it's not going to come back, because you now have other people in the mix that are more concerned about the money that can possibly be made than the relationship and the artistry that had been made.
And then, as happens with so many great artists, collectives, or bands, people, they get famous, everything happens so fast.
Flames erupt in the hills of Oakland, claiming property, and now tonight, at least 10 lives, and the biggest urban fire in California history still burns out of control as we speak.
When that fire hit, it just took everything. It burned everything.
These people don't understand. They got to leave. They got to leave their cars here. You're better off to leave your cars and walk.
The Oakland Hills firestorm of 1991 burned all of my mementos, all of my things that I collected, all of my tapes, and it burned all of our gear, a lot of our touring stuff, and it definitely burned up all of the Tupac, the Strictly Dope masters, a lot of the masters, as well as a lot of the master recordings of Mr. Wonderful. I was on my rooftop smoking a joint, waiting for my Sunday morning grits, and I'm looking out into the hills up above, and I'm watching all this smoke, and I'm going, oh, some rich slob's fucking house is burning down. And then I go back inside because I'm on my rooftop and I can see the whole area, and I come back out and I'm looking that the fire is ablaze outside my band members from Forest of Negro, right behind their balcony. We get out of there just barely with our lives, and when I realize I'm outside, and the stuff they say you grab in the fire has a way of doing some fucked up shit, because I'm standing outside with an ashtray, my passport, and a remote control for my TV. That's what I got out of the fire with. I felt like Steve Martin in The Jerk. I had an ashtray, the remote control for my TV, and my passport. After the fire, we had broken apart, not just as a band and those things, but also just living amongst each other day to day, and living in the same apartment complex where we would see each other sometime. Fire is a really trippy thing because you never really get over it. Leaving a group that's successful, you're like, damn, you miss that energy, you miss that light. I also felt like I had something to prove, because I felt unappreciated, disrespected, not have to go get on the tour bus, not, get your passport ready. It's a task. My pimping didn't stop. I went on ahead and jumped off to Quincy Jones. We did some other big things. Boys in the Hood movie, John Singleton, once again with Ice Cube as the star. We had a song in there called Spirit. Yes, there are some hits, and you can tour and gig with some of those hits, like Kiss You Back, Do What You Like, the Humpty Dance. But the real deal is that it could have been way bigger, and it could have been much more of a household name, and we all could have, reaped financial rewards, which we were all due. Digital Underground will be known as the hip hop Humpty Funksters, and we did make and take funk and bring it to the 90s. I am fortunate enough to, even myself right now, be a part of growing the next generation of hip hop artists with Son of the Underground, and Digital Underground, the next generation. We're doing Sex Packets 2, and we're looking at trying to take this and bring this to a whole new generation again. After like 30 years or so now, hip-hop does have a nice body of work where now we actually can go back 20 years and 25 years, and people are doing that. And that's some of the best stuff of hip-hop back then, because now it's really turned into really a lot of crap.
They are responsible for so many different styles within the Bay Area. Like, I would say that the whole sort of backpacker style is attributed to them. The hieroglyphics came afterwards, but sort of picked up on that, sort of anything goes and just be crazy, be hip-hop.
I thought Shock was a skinny little nerdy black guy who thought he was funny. And I thought that when he went into his Humpty character, that really was his inner self coming out. I thought that Jimmy was this loud mouth who had a lot of grand ideas.
Even though I've been in the group, how many years has it been? 20, what is this? 89 to now, or 88 to now. To this day, when we do a show, every time I watch it, I'm entertained.
And I'm fortunate enough to be, and happy enough and appreciative enough to be able to bring this to the people now and let them hear these recordings and to tell the stories, because it was just an incredible thing to be a part of that time and part of that era of growing young superstars.
It was a fun time, and you have to remember that all of us were about the same age. I mean, we were young adults, and we had the opportunity to really seize the day. And so everyone from the management side to the record label side to the artists, we were working hard, having fun, and able to make money. And that, I think, again, is credit to, Jimmy Dright and Shock G from Digital Underground coming and putting together tracks that made sense. And so it is what I think people say, the stuff or the things that dreams are made of.
Now somebody make some noise.
Alright, stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to.
Look funny, but you're making money to see. So your world, I hope you're ready for me to gather round. I'm the new fool in town, and my sound's laid down by the underground.
Drink a bottle of Hennessy, you got it yourself. So just let me introduce myself. My name is Humpty, pronounced with the Humpty. Yo, ladies, oh, how I like to bump thee. And all the rappers in the top 10, I have already bumped thee. Say it all, y'all. It's Humpty Humpty. You better fall when the stereo's funky. I like to rhyme, I like my beats funky. I'm spunky, like my old Bill Humpty. I'm sick with this. Straight gangsta back. Sometimes I get ridiculous. I eat up all you crackers and your licorice. Hey, yo, fat girl, come here, are you ticklish? Yeah, I call you fat. Look at me, I'm skinny. And next time we forget busy, I'm on free. I like the girls with the balls. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom.
Still getting in the girls' pants, and I even got my own dance.
Drop the beat, Jay.
1, 2, 3, kick it.